Join us as we sit down with remarkable individuals from various walks of life who faced their fair share of obstacles and emerged with positivity. Each episode, you'll hear inspiring stories, actionable tips, and wisdom that can supercharge your own journey when using adversity as motivation. Let's learn together. Welcome to Lauer Power.
Welcome to another episode of Lauer Power, where we use adversity as motivation alongside Chad Lauer and Dave Tamkus. My name is Chad Evans. Run on Duncan.
Lauer runs on Duncan today, baby.
Hey, what do you think about this?
Dude, I'll be honest.
What do you think about this setup?
I love looking you right in the eye. So people who...
It makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, so people who haven't been in the studio before, like, we were kind of not looking each other directly in the eye.
But now we're making serious eye contact.
You're both much more handsome straight ahead than... from the side. I'm just being honest.
I want to give thanks to my dude, Michael Krebs, pushing the buttons now. So now I'm not pushing the buttons and worrying about who's in focus or how does it sound.
And Michael's a perfectionist, man.
He's the best of the best.
I've seen him in action here for about 5 minutes.
We got to get a camera on him.
We will eventually.
He could be our Baba Booey. He could be our Baba Booey.
By the way, talk about just a classic Baba Booey.
Yeah.
I mean, he was my favorite back in the day.
Oh, he's rocking and rolling, man.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, I haven't heard him in a while.
He's still Howard Stern's producer.
I know. I just haven't heard him for a while.
Wow.
Anyway.
Well, this is great. Hey, listen, the hot dog thing at Illumination Station, we got to do a recap on that because I thought that went very well.
Dude, we had the entire community out, meaning people who were homeless, people who just moved here a week before. I had somebody that told me they just moved here a week before. We had parole officers, we had cops, we had city councilmen, we had Rotary members, we had kids like Graham and Bones and Ivy serving hot dogs. And that's what we wanted, right, guys? We wanted the entire community to come together, all different types of demographics, which is what makes up every city, and say, hey, we're just all human, right? And we're here to help each other out and spread positivity throughout the city.
I thought it was great. And we went through 100 hot dogs in 2 hours, right on the nose.
Right on the nose.
And how about Joe Daniels came?
Joe Daniels, we can't thank him enough with iHeartRadio doing a live broadcast for us. He did a bang-up job. And I'll tell you what, I've been in radio for a long time. And radio still gets results because he went live and people down the street that were working heard it on the radio and came over for a free hot dog.
I had multiple people tell me they heard it on the radio.
That's awesome.
How about Mackenzie Witt, too? I got to shout out Mackenzie Witt. So Mackenzie is a writer for the news item, and she's young and she's spunky and she's really good at what she does. And she came and she didn't just come and just like run away right away. She spent time with us.
Yeah, she was there for a while.
And she wrote a great article because I think she really kind of grasped what we were doing.
Front page above the fold.
Yeah. Exactly. And then, and Tom Wise, his company built Illumination Station, and he came and he's like, wow, it's so cool to see it being used in the way they envisioned it being used. So they donated to the event, and he actually spent time with us there too. So, man, the community is just awesome. And, Sherry Shabelsky's my aunt-in-law, and she's the president of the Rotary, and she owned Bader's for years right smack in town. And one of her initiatives with Rotary is, hey, we're going to change the image of the city. So they're kind of buying in with what we're doing too. So it's really neat to see all of that coming together. Yeah,
for sure. We also want to thank the donation of the hot dogs.
Yeah, Tanya Rumberger donated those hot dogs, and she was just awesome. And, making sure that we had everything we needed.
Lauer came in with bags of mustard, ketchup, relish. He had different kinds of mustard. He had the hot mustard, Dijon mustard.
Dude, I'm not messing around, man.
I'm like, because
fruit wasn't expecting fruit.
Yeah, fruit.
Tamkus and I piled on the Blackstone and Bill back of the truck, strapped that thing down. That was a really good time.
It was, and the weather held out too.
Yeah. So, did you guys not trust me to help set up the Blackstone? That I wasn't invited to that part. You just sent me to the grocery store.
We were just gonna.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
We didn't want you to get your hands dirty.
Okay, all right. I was just
we took care of that.
All right, it's like the man's job, I guess, right?
But yeah, so people have been asking about like, what is the Why Not Shamokin movement? What is this? What's your goal? What's the whole purpose? And I said basically we're just marketing the city in a positive light. Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's just really that simple. So whatever we can do to help the city along and move it forward into a positive light, that's, I think, our job. That's our space.
Yeah.
We're not building a hotel. We want to be a part of it for sure. We're not raising money for a new Vicky right now, but we would maybe like to be a part of that. That's the whole purpose of this, is just creating a positive light for the city of Shamokin.
Yeah. And again, we're going to have more events, so we'll announce those soon. We're thinking about maybe a cornhole tournament.
I would love to see a cornhole tournament with an open container.
Yeah. So we'll negotiate with the city and see if we can make that happen. But what's more, coal region than a cornhole tournament?
And a couple soupies.
That's right.
Flying around, man.
So that's what we're going to work on next. So hopefully maybe September, October.
Yeah.
We have a tournament we can invite folks out to and have a great time with us.
So that's our recap about the hot dog day.
Yep.
Changing the city one hot dog at a time. And a lot of people came out, and it was a lot of fun. So
it was great just talking to people.
Yep. It was a really nice time, and the weather was perfect.
Can't wait to do another event, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's what I love. So we don't have a guest today because we're going to talk about our entrepreneurial journeys ourselves, right? So I think a lot of our podcasts to date have been about other people, and I think I said it 2 or 3 podcasts ago. I do get people who want to learn more about what we do.
Yeah.
So as you can see in this studio, Chad, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
You've created a space.
Yeah.
For people now to come in as opposed to you going out to their location.
Yeah. So I'll be total transparency about this. So I'm pivoting my business a little bit, moving through here in the next couple of months. So what my biggest form of revenue is going out and filming businesses, right? So that's what I do. My mom doesn't even know what I do, to be quite honest with you. But what I do is I'll go out and film for a small business, and I'll take that long format video about their story, or maybe there's testimonials, and then I'll take that video and make a 30-second video or a 15-second video out of that, which is great. And I've been doing that for 7 years, and I'll still continue to do that. But I have another crew that is going to go out and do most of that for me, right? Apologize.
Edit.
So they're going to take care of most of that on location filming and editing for me. But what I'm trying to do here in the Stone State studio, I think is what I'm going to call it. I don't know, but is what you see here. So this is it's a podcast room, but it's also a content creation room for small businesses where they could come in and they get interviewed just like this. And then we'll spend 2 hours with them where they could come in here, get interviewed, have a show for them. They could also get headshots in the live room, right? We're going to feed them some the chips, pretzels, adult beverages, right? We're going to put a bar out there in the green room. This is all happening. And they make it a content day. They come out here, make it a content day. And then I'll take that long format video that we capture for that small business and then edit that into 10, 20 social media reels, right? And this is something that they can subscribe to, where it on a monthly basis, they come in, like the first Monday of every month, they have their studio day, they have their content day, or it's every other month, or once every 3 months, depending on how much content that they want or need on a regular basis. That's primarily what I'm focusing on now to try to get this thing up off the ground, and it's a lot cheaper.
We've done it, right?
Yeah.
So Lauer Media's done it.
It's a lot cheaper.
And we had Josh Moser in from Moser Roofing already. What was that? A couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
And he got 45 minutes of content broken down into, I can't even tell you how many little clips that I've already seen him using on LinkedIn.
Great. He's a good dude.
And Caitlin, who's our social media manager, just throws the captions at the bottom, makes it look good, helps edit it. I mean, so we've already done it. So this is, I'm selling for you. It's amazing.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
And we did headshots, which we turned into signatures. We updated our social media based on that green screen.
Yep.
We had a couple team members who were nervous and might have shared a few adult beverages. So, I mean,
there's nothing wrong with it.
And here's what I'll tell you. I'm not trying to go off on a tangent, but my team, after the day they spent in here, they said, man, that was a fun work day. And it's a day they'll remember. They brought I mean, I think Coda had 10 different shirts on at one point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they bring clothes, it's an experience, which you can't put a value on that either.
AI can't do that.
Correct.
That's my whole point.
I'm selling Chad too. And we've done it and used the space, and it's been just awesome.
And again, for me, it makes sense, for a video production company to go out to your space. And there's obviously certain reasons to do that, to film them at their location. But you come in here and just, you get away from the office, you get away from work, you kind of let your hair down a little bit and get some really good content for your business. And it's, like I said, it's cheaper. And if you want to talk prices, give me a call.
There you go.
Because it makes sense for both worlds. It just does. So
I love it. And before we move on to Dave, like the reason this podcast is about our entrepreneurial journey is, we have a commitment to our community, and I think entrepreneurs are the backbone of communities.
You're going to see more entrepreneurs coming up in the future. You just are.
You are, and I think that we support each other.
Yeah, you
like
have to.
No other.
You have to.
And I think we create jobs for others, which those we care about people more. I don't care what anybody says than those big corporations. So that's a great transition, because I tried to hire Dave. So I offered him a base salary. I offered him benefits. I offered him a big fat 401k, and he told me no, right? Which is cool. I totally respect it, right? I literally offered him a full-time job. Was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
He said, Chad, I appreciate you. I need to think about it at the beach for a week. And he came back and he told me no. And I said, you know what, dude, I respect that. And I probably would have said no too. Mm-hmm. We miss him and we wish he would have joined him, but tell us about why and your entrepreneurial journey.
So I've been 6 months into my full-time entrepreneur journey. And I mean, it's going well. There's always room for growth for sure. But I wasn't ready to throw in the white flag and go work for someone else, even though I love you, Chad.
No, dude, listen, I think that's why I offer, before we posted the job, I offered it to you, right? Like I just wanted to throw it out there, but there's something about being an entrepreneur, right? That is
absolutely.
different.
Yeah. To be able to, make your own decisions and pick the work you want to do. Just wasn't ready to give that up yet. I don't see that I will be ever ready to give that up. And plus, like I said, things are going well, doing logos. I'm meeting with some folks about some other projects that could be long-term, and just want to continue that freedom of working for myself.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah. I had that opportunity not too long ago from a bigger company. I won't say who it was, but we talked about that, where they're like, hey, why don't you just work for us? And they did throw out some money, and then they're like, hey, you got benefits and everything like that. But it's just something as an entrepreneur where it is the freedom, but it's also completely 1,000% on your shoulders every day. And there's slow days. There's never a bad day. Honestly, I never had a bad day. I've had some down days. I had some extremely busy months. I was just telling Krebs today, I was doing the invoices. Today's first of the month, so I'm sending out the invoices. I'm like, wow, that was a pretty good month.
I got the invoice from you.
Oh yeah, yeah. I sent.
I got to pay that today.
Yeah, you're all right. But the whole main reason people ask me, what's it like to own your own business? I said the best part of owning your own business is the money you make, sure, but you have freedom to spend it any way you see fit. Mm-hmm. There's nobody you don't have to ask to can I put a banner at the Little League field? Mm-hmm. You don't have to go through that whole process. And honestly, that's the most rewarding thing about being an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And one of the other things I said to you, Chad, too, was before I left a full-time job working for someone, I was coming home from working a full-time job and working 4, 5, 6 hours a night on my own thing. And that wasn't going to stop. So I didn't want to go back to working 8 hours for somebody else and then working 6 hours for myself. I just decided to work for myself the whole time.
Yeah. Which is awesome, man. And you're doing some painting, you're doing some design work. Tell us a little bit about everything that you do.
Sure. Logo design for sure. Any kind of brochures or ad layouts, all in my wheelhouse. I do hand painted signs, which just had a whole video series through Cup of Code highlighting some of the local signs that I did in Shamokin. And I'm working on some canvases in my basement as commission paintings for someone right now as well. So anything art related, I don't typically say no. I'm not scared to try something I never did before. So I'm all in with that. And then also Shamokin Shirt Company too, still doing all the design work for Shamokin Shirt Company.
That's awesome. I just had a Shamokin shirt on, but I get busted on by my team because I wear the same clothes all the time. So I switched to an Indian Hills shirt for the podcast. So Indian Hills is a golf course in Paxinas, which Chad and I love. Yeah. And I'm a member there and started a golf league there, which has been going very well. So
I'll play next year.
Yeah. We're looking to really promote any business in the area. So if you haven't golfed, go check out Indian Hills. And if you do love golf, it's a hidden gem. I'm telling you, it's for somebody who loves the sport. It's a place that is extremely challenging. And I don't think people know it exists.
That's awesome.
But it is just an awesome layout. And, I don't think you'd be disappointed going to try to play it. I played in a Srixon Pro-Am there 2 weeks ago. Not bragging, but I beat the pro by 1 stroke. And the reason why is they don't realize how hard the back nine is, right? It's a really, really hard course. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to chat about my entrepreneurial journey. How's that sound?
Please.
So we are just like you guys have pivoted. I think that's the theme of the podcast a little bit. So we've been a traditional digital marketing agency forever. And about a year ago, we launched what we call Sales as a Service under Lauer Media Company. It's going so well that this week we officially started Lauer Sales Company, which is going to be
that's what you call it, Lauer Sales Company.
Well, we might come up with a DBA, but legally it's called Lauer Sales Company. It's a totally different company owned by Lauer Media. And we go out and we sell on behalf of our customers. So any business that sells to other businesses, we come in and we will take over your sales process. We curate a prospect list based on who your target market is. So for example, if you're a commercial roofer, your target market might be manufacturing firms or manufacturers, right? Big, huge facilities with these giant roofs. Well, we then decide who's the decision maker. Well, it might be facilities manager or C-suite. We then target those people and we do the outreach for you, meaning we will cold call them, we will email them, we will reach out to them on LinkedIn, we will send them a gift in the mail, and we will get a percentage of every deal that we close for your business. So essentially, what we found is nobody wants to do sales anymore, right? Sounds terrible, but like we just closed a deal last night. I was on with a guy that owned a drone company, and he's like, Chad, I'm struggling and I know what I need to do. I need to call realtors and commercial roofers and people who need my services. I just can't do it. And I said, that's fine. We'll do it for you.
Right, because he flies drones.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be a sales guy, right? And I found
same
that
with the roofer.
niche.
They put roofs on buildings. Dude, they don't want to sell it.
So to your point, we just quoted a very large job in New York. And I talked to our client and he's like, hey, that job would be really nice. I don't want to follow up with them. Will you follow up with them? He wants to go do the roof. He doesn't want to follow up on a quote, even though it's a couple $100,000. So I said, dude, I'll follow up on the job, right? So something totally out of his comfort zone is in mine, right? So we're finding this niche of 2 people, right? One is the solo entrepreneurs. Okay. We will do outreach on their behalf under their brand, right?
Yeah.
So it's under their brand. So for example, under Tamkus Art, we would do the outreach under your email ID and we would literally work for you as like a 1099. But you better give us a percentage of every business, all the
just
revenue.
like a sales rep.
Correct.
Just like a sales rep. There's salary, a monthly retainer, and then commission, just like a sales rep.
Yeah.
And any industry does this.
Dude, but here's the difference, right? If you want to hire a sales rep, you need to spend money recruiting, right?
Yeah.
You need to spend money onboarding, training, bennies, retirement, base salary, HR,
payroll, taxes.
Middle manager that's going to manage this person.
Yeah.
And then they still might fail anyway.
Right.
With us, you just pay us. We start tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's month to month. If we don't sell for you, you can say, hey, I'm done.
And the best part about it is there's no contract.
None. It's month to month.
Yeah,
because I'm so confident that we're going to, we show you, first of all, it's under your email ID. So you see the activities. We report the phone calls to you. You're going to be able to manage us more than a rep that you hire out of the blue anyway.
Yeah.
And the reason we ask for a commission is I want you to have skin in the game, because that's going to motivate me. Okay. So if we don't close, we don't get that commission.
Right.
So, the risk is really small.
It's just a huge need in the market in any industry.
Dude, and I believe we're onto something. So anyway, so my vision, and I'll lay it out here. I think I did this maybe on one of the other podcasts, is so we get these clients and then we put together the sales process. And Jeff's my vice president. He started doing is eventually we're going to move those jobs into the town of Shamokin.
There you go.
So we've already kind of started that. We have one person who just started there this week. That we're paying hourly to help us fulfill these contracts. But my vision is eventually, as the company grows, we continue to create jobs and hopefully have a space in town within the next 6 months to a year. And then again, that's putting our money where our mouth is. So we're really excited about that. We're still going to do the traditional digital marketing stuff. It's just, we believe that there's a major need for help in the sales process.
Yes, there is.
So,
because you mentioned before, like if you have a good sales rep, and if you had that sales rep that's, they call it the fat cat, that has all these accounts in your business and they're there for 30, 35 years, consider yourself lucky.
Rarely happens
anymore because that good sales rep is going to maybe go somewhere else or start their own little.
Likely
firm.
They'll start their own company.
Right.
Yeah.
The sales reps
leads go with them.
Right.
Because they don't buy from the company. They buy from the rep.
Yep.
Yeah.
You couldn't say any better. Right. And that happened to me. Right. That's what happened when I left my corporate job. I mean, I didn't know it, but they're like, hey, I just want to deal with you. I trust you. Mm-hmm. I didn't buy the company. I bought from you.
Right.
Right. So even the green sales reps that come in, you're right. You have to onboard them. You have to train them for 3 months, or whatever. And then they're like, I don't like it. I don't fit in sales, which is fine. There's huge turnover with any sales department in any industry.
Massive turnover. Massive. Because listen, it's similar like recruiting an athlete. You don't know what their belly burn is until they get smacked in the face.
Yeah.
Here's what happens is people think they want to get into sales because they see the freedom and the money and they see the guys golfing. What they didn't see is the 10,000 no's that person got to earn them that residual income that gives them the freedom. So it's hard to be told no. It's hard to be told no all day, every day. And that's what the job is. I mean, you're literally told no all day long. Yeah. But those people who do it well don't care.
Right.
And that's where, we come in and we're like, hey, we're cool. We already know we're going to be told no, but I just want to get you one new client this week. Just one. And that's it. It's that simple. And they're like, really?
It is that simple.
Yeah. Because all of a sudden months go by and you didn't get that new client. You're sitting there like, why? The drone guy, like I keep going back to him. He's like, yeah, I've been doing this for 6 months, invested a lot of money in equipment, can't get a job. Mm-hmm. Okay. He needs our help.
Yep.
So
that's great.
That's the way. And then the hardest people to manage are the ones that are mediocre because they do just enough to keep their job. Yeah. But we know that they're not profitable to the company. So that's where it's really hard because they're not doing bad enough to fire them. They're not really doing good enough to make you money. Right. And then they just linger.
Yeah. It's just a huge need. And I think Lauer Sales is going to fulfill that.
Yeah.
I think it's going to take off very quickly.
Yep. So that's where we're going, man. I mean, that's where we're at as far as, our entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're also speakers.
Yeah, man. And that's been, we got to talk about that a little bit. We got a little bit of a gift from Furmanos, right?
Furmanos, beginning of June.
Yes.
We were out there,
Yep.
and we presented, and Lauer did his whole story in front of 400 people, and it was so much fun. And I want to give a shout out to Chad out there and John and the rest of the staff of Fermanos. They gave us a nice gift bag for doing it. It was great. We got like a cutting board in there. We got a big giant umbrella. We got some swag. It was awesome. And we didn't ask for that, but they went, above and beyond, like, hey, take this stuff. We appreciate you.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, we appreciate you, Fermanos.
Yeah, I just did a LinkedIn post today, actually, because you got us the Chad shirts.
Oh, yeah.
So there's 3 Chad shirts, and our name's been taking a beating lately, like a total beating. And I said that there's 3 Chads here, man. We're doing okay. I don't think there's any young Chads out there anymore, but yeah. So listen, guys, I want to transition to the leadership topic of the day.
Okay.
And it's nobody cares about you. And it kind of hits you in the face when you say that. But I talk to so many people, and this is a good transition from the
There's
sales.
a lot of caffeine in there. Go ahead, Chad. Yo, baby.
So I hear so many people like struggle or worry about like what somebody's going to think about them.
It's human nature.
Correct. Or they won't go into their entrepreneurial journey because they're afraid that if they fail, but they're not really afraid that they're going to fail themselves. They're afraid what people are going to think about them if they fail. And the leadership topic of the day is nobody cares. Like nobody's thinking about you like you think they are, right? Like we think other people are thinking about us, they're not. And if they are thinking about us, it's fleeting, meaning they might think about you for a minute and then they're back to themselves, right? So I think we need to realize that it's okay to take risks and it's okay to fail and it's okay to make mistakes, but don't ever not do something because you're afraid of what somebody's going to think about you. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah. Sticking your neck out there. Listen, I fail 5 to 10 times a week in one stretch of the imagination to the other. I do. I used to have a big problem with what people thought of me. I don't know why. I just got over that. I was just kind of like, the hell with it. I don't care. I'm going to do whatever you do. Like the same with the murder mysteries. Like you just did it. And then you get, 8 people together. You put on this show that, you wrote from your brain. I'm like, hey, here it is. I hope you like it.
Take it or leave
it.
Yeah.
That's how it is. So you're right. I mean, that is a huge concern about what other people think of you, but really who cares? Like you have family, you have your tight core friends. That's what really matters.
I can think back to a year in high school where I don't know what changed, but that I stopped caring about what the rat race of it, and I was much happier after that. Yeah, and just kept moving forward.
It's not like you don't care about people. That's not what we're saying. We're just talking about.
It's funny. Like I've had people say that. Like I've heard, well, you beat to your own drum, and I'm like, well, what does that mean?
Yeah,
right. Like somebody said that to me recently. You beat to your own drum. Well, why would I beat to anybody else's drum? like I don't understand that. Like just do you. Like who cares what people think? And I think, listen, as like an adolescent, I think it's normal. But, the quicker you realize that, the better you are. Like it's crazy how much people stifle their own growth because of what others may think, And I'm here to say, unfortunately, for you and for me and for all of us, nobody really cares. And I know that message hurts, but they don't care. And like, not to get deep, but like, I'll tell you, like, even like when I've been in the hospital or been like really, really sick, you get these messages, but like if I don't come out of here, people are still going to do their thing tomorrow. Like they are like, and I'm okay with that. Like they'd be like, oh, it sucks. Lauer's not here anymore. But like, I'm going to work. I'm going out to dinner. I'm going to play golf the next day. Like we all feel bad, but we're not stopping our lives, and that's like, when you're in those moments, you got to realize that, like, so my message and leadership topic of the day is like, go fail, man. Go fail. Like, who cares?
We're not going to be here 100 years from now.
Yeah, like
no one's going to remember anything.
Fear of failure, man, it just stops so many people. And like, I just don't get it. I can't.
I agree. Yeah.
So it's funny. Rob Shoup was at
Yeah,
golf.
My guy. Yeah.
He's your guy.
Yeah, he's in my core.
And he's putting pressure on me because he's like, hey, you and Chad bring him back to the city of Shamokin, right? And I'm like, dude, we're going to try. We might fail, but who cares, right? Where do we have to go but up? But that's pressure, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you know Rob, like he says it in a funny way, right? Like he's like, yeah, you guys bringing it back?
Yeah,
we're trying.
Bringing it back.
We're trying.
Yeah, we're giving it a go.
It's funny. The first episode that we did on camera, I watched like 5 times because I was a little bit like, oh, how do I look? What do I look like? I don't even watch them anymore. I'm just like, who cares what I look like? Whatever. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So who knows? But
except for the shirt, you got to change the shirt.
I do change the shirt, but that's not for me. That's because I get yelled at by my team for wearing the same clothes all the time.
Well, we're looking forward to keeping it going with more podcasts. We're not going to stop. We're going to keep going. The movement of Why Not Shamokin, we're going to keep that up. Tamkus is going strong. Lauer, you're going strong. We're going strong. Michael Krebs, back behind the cameras, he's going strong too. So everything's moving forward in a positive direction, and that's all we can ask for.
Yeah, man. Listen, I can't wait to get started on the next episode, and appreciate you guys following. Be sure to subscribe. We really could use those YouTube subscribers if you're listening, and hope you're enjoying our content.
Are you a business owner, a leader, or an aspiring achiever looking to turn life's challenges into powerful fuel for your success? You've come to the right place. Get ready to unlock the secrets to turning life's hardships into your most powerful ally. Your hosts, along with our incredible guests, will help you tap into your own Lauer power and guide you towards the success you've always dreamed of.